I have had some amazing downloads in the past 2 days, and they're coming through the readings I'm doing for myself. I told you, a lot of you, that every morning I will do my own readings, and what's showing up here is about where we're headed, how to navigate that. And because this is the moment in time, we are witnessing a tower moment of our society, okay? Because we have been resisting this. And you guys who are on your spiritual path have already had your tower moments, have gone through dark night of the soul. You've been here, been there, done that, okay? So this is why your leadership matters now, because you've already been through tower moments. If there's things you have been resisting, they are going to show up louder right now. If there's things you've been resisting, like moving on from a certain situation, or dealing with a family member, or dealing with some kind of relationship, your relationship to work, your relationship to money, your relationship to whatever it is. So this is going to show up a lot louder right now. And so everything that's coming up in terms of fear I want to give you a tool, okay? So, for example, fear can show up in a lot of different ways, okay? So for me, fear shows up as frustration and feeling not heard. That gets me really angry when I feel like I'm not heard, when someone is definitively not listening, and I'm communicating and I'm talk, talk. And when it's not being heard, that gets me really super frustrated. That's the anger part of me. And so I feel that when I'm experiencing that things just seem to keep moving on a path, even though I am speaking and saying, hey, that seems like a destructive path, la, 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 la. Okay. And what I mean by that is I am now seeing that the every man for himself, the 3D experience, well, I guess I've always been seeing this, but now it's very clear. This 3D experience is ending. And the thing that we have been doing as a society for, I'm going to say 100 years now, because that's really the time when we shifted after World War II. So not quite 100 years, 80 years, but when we shifted out of this idea of communal living, people went out to the suburbs, right? Couples, it was every couple for themselves. And then with the realization of those patterns not working for a lot of people, that dissolved and it became every man for himself. So it was like even like less and less and less cohesion among people, and distance, lots of distance and things like that. And so we were looking at that in the 3D, and how can that really change? I mean, people get married and they have a family or something like that, and sometimes it splits up, sometimes it doesn't. How are we moving into this communal, more 5D consciousness of more collaboration, right? More ability to be with each other. It's interesting that this tower is coming through the physical. It's coming through the physical body in terms of the illness, in terms of the pandemic, and it's coming through the physical in terms of money, right? The pentacle nature of this is very loud to me, that you are not allowed to be physically with people right now, so that things don't continue to manifest, or things don't continue to double and double and double and double, right? It reminds me of that commercial in the 70s, right? She told two friends, and she told two friends, and she told two friends, and it gets out of control very fast. So the answer here was about, well, we're still moving in this direction, but the answer here has been, in other societies, and we're seeing this now, has been to contain, has been to isolate. But the thing that is the 5D consciousness is our ability to communicate through the internet. Right here, you and me, we've been talking for 2.5 years now. You've never been in this house, okay? But we know each other. We've had experiences together. We've been talking together, right? So this 5D experience is going to show up for more people in this way. And the thing about this tower moment for this society is about letting go of these 3D ways, not only of doing, but of looking at things, looking at them. Okay. So this whole idea, the emperor, the whole idea of how do we create this 3D structure? It's been very top down. It's been very, right? And we're moving in a totally new direction where it's more flat, it's more egalitarian, it's more communal based, it's more feminine based, right? The divine feminine is ascending here. That's what we're witnessing. We're in North Node in Cancer right now until May 5th of 2020. We've been here for 2 years. So for the past 2 years, maybe a little bit more than 2 years, for the past, is that right? For the past 2 years, yeah. We've Cancer in the 4th house is about mother. That is the Empress, right? The South Node is Capricorn in the 10th. Father, Emperor, okay? Capricorn, Devil, Pluto, everything is up there now. It's about the death of that way of living, of being the 3D focus on the structures, the institutions, the ways of living, the ways of making money, the way, all of those things are upending now. Doop, 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 very fast, right? And we're coming into a place of 5D in this little last part of it. So Cancer North Node will be in until May 5th, 2020. So this is a call of destiny to embrace the Empress, embrace the nurturing, embrace the compassion, embrace the communal living. And I say this in a lot of readings. Well, communal living, what I mean by that is 5D community. Okay, so connecting online, being together online, doing group chats, doing whatever it is to keep yourself connected. Okay, instead of self-isolating, because we're physically, the 3D body is needing to be physically isolated, but that doesn't mean your energy, your love, your compassion, anything like that needs to be isolated. Okay, so stay isolated with 3D 100%. Okay, that's one very important thing to take away from this. Okay, but in the 5D, as a lot of you have been living in 5D, I've been living in 5D now for 2.5 years, didn't even really kind of grasp it, how much 5D life I've had, what the percentage of my life that's 5D is. 85% of it. I'm more connected to people now than I've ever been. Okay? And this is the call of destiny. The 4th house is about home and hearth. That's why we're all here now. We're all in our home and hearth. Okay? All of the cracks and inconsistencies in the 3D life are showing themselves now. And in fact, like, this is dumping gasoline on them because all these institutions are getting upended. So as you're moving into this 5D consciousness, this awareness that we're all connected, and we really truly are, by this, okay? This is not the enemy. How we've been using it has maybe not been the right thing. It's been a tool to separate in the 3D. And I know many of my friends who've been like, this is the enemy. You know why? Because they're wanting to hold on to that 3D experience. They're not seeing the 5D experience, okay? So will we ever be physically in touch with people again? Of course we will, okay? We're gonna get through this. We're gonna move on from this. But needing to see this 5D experience is what we're having right now. So between now, this is end of March, and May 5th, this is going to be a massive transformation into 5D. You know, I have been saying that some will not move forward. Some will resist and resist and resist and resist. Okay? And some will not move forward. Am I talking about the pandemic? Maybe. The universe, God, however you believe, is not punishing anyone. Okay? No one's being punished by this. This is not like a wrathful God. This is not any of that stuff. This is just like, hey, tower moments. And that's why I whenever I do readings for people, I kind of say, like, Don't fear, don't fear the Reaper. Oh my God. Don't fear the Death card. Don't fear the Devil card. Don't fear the Tower card, because you have created this. We as a society have created this Tower moment because of the energy that's going to resist leaving the 3D and moving into 5D. The energy of that has been huge. And at the same time, those of us in the spiritual world who are seeing the future, seeing the 5D, seeing the creation of community and the consciousness being raised on a lot of levels, moving in more to that Empress energy, away from that Emperor energy. More of us are embracing the change, and we are manifesting, we're asking for more. And yesterday, I think I did a reading where I was talking about, look, all of our voices. Remember we did the meditation last week and the Maharishi effect of people meditating all at once to raise the vibration of the planet. Well, that's what you're witnessing, is the raising of the vibration of the planet. And these 3D structures are getting shaked off. Okay, all you have to do is look at Venice. Look at Venice. The beautiful waterways around Venice have been polluted for decades because of boats, because of humans and all that kind of stuff, because of the 3D thinking. Okay, and now they're clear. Only a couple weeks and they're clear. The pollution, the fog of pollution over China has dissipated. Okay. So while it's scary, it's like, oh my God, this is my job. This is how I pay my rent. This is how it, 100%. Okay. But embracing the new energy, we are moving the North nodes move backwards, right? They are always in retrograde, and they're not real. They're not planets. They're just data points around the moon. Okay. They facilitate the eclipse season, which is coming up too. So as the North Node moves into the third house, Gemini North Node, Sagittarius South Node. Okay. So what is happening there is Gemini is about communication. All right. With the South Node being in Sagittarius, I have my notes here. The planet Jupiter, right, is the experience of expansion. But when it's in the South Node, it is the period of implosion or decay or falling away. So our old philosophy, Sagittarius, ninth house, is the house of philosophy. Our old belief systems are going to decay and move out, okay, move away from us. In the third house, Gemini ruled by Mercury in the third house is going to be about new ideas coming in, okay? Gemini, communication. And it's in the third house. The third house is the house of your community. So where is that community? A lot of us have a big community online. Is there going to be community around here where it's going to be it's not going to be tribal, though. What I'm saying to you is I think that the old philosophy of tribalism is the thing that's going to wither, because we are going to see, the lesson here is new ways of communicating with each other, and that we are all connected. That's the fundamental battle between the 3D and the 5D right now. The 3D is holding on to the idea that it's every man for himself. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Do it alone. That is virtuous. 5D says no. We need each other. We all need each other. And removing the 3D part of it for a while will allow us to live in this 5D consciousness. Okay? Will allow us to move there. There are millions of people on this planet. Resist, resist, resist. So when you feel, and it's totally normal, okay? It's completely normal that you have been dipping in and out of this 3D consciousness of fear. Completely normal, understandable. But the movement, more and more of you are showing balance in your ability to, because you've been through it. All right. You have been on the spiritual path. You have been awakened to be leaders now for all of these other people who are choosing to stay in 3D. Because you know what? They won't be able to. They won't be able to. So when North Node moves into Gemini and South Node is in Sagittarius, the North Node in communication, right? I've been talking a lot about how my North Node is in Gemini and it's about communication. Okay. It's about communicating new ideas. Mercury, right? Things are changing fast in our communities. It's going to be communicating that. You guys are on the forefront of this as leadership to hold the light for other people who are not understanding that the 3D is holding them back. The 3D is absolutely holding them back. The 5D is where we're going. This is the shift. We've been manifesting this shift. The people in the spiritual community have been manifesting. We've been all doing this together. Why do you think this is such a powerful tower moment? Because there's way big hunk of people who are like, no, I want my every man for himself, even if it means that I have a job I hate and I'm not eating well because I'm, focusing on a lot of things that are being told to me without me opening up to anything new. That whole thing is going to go away. And you're watching a lot of them kick and scream about it in a big way. As we move toward the 5D consciousness, we're going to see, and I'm gonna warn us against Schadenfreude here. There's always a German word for everything. The Germans really do a good job of having words that capture things. Schadenfreude is a word that captures the emotion that when you have been in frustration, this is what my anger has been about, frustration and the powerlessness that has been felt by either being in a job you didn't like, or being in a marriage that was not working, or being with narcissistic partners, or dealing with the 3D consciousness that was heavy and dense and not, allowing or not validating your spiritual move. We are moving in this direction toward the Empress, right? Until May 5th. May 5th of this year, this energy of the Empress is going to be the loudest, okay? This over this next 6 weeks, this is when the Empress is going to be loud. So what needs to happen here, and then we go into Mercury, okay? There's also some eclipses coming that I want to share with you. June 5th, the lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, right? Eclipsing the old ideas, the old philosophies, eclipsing that. Solar eclipse on June 21st, Cancer, back in the Cancer, back in Empress energy, right? The mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sag, and Pisces will be most affected by that. And then a lunar eclipse on July 5th in Capricorn, okay? And that is going to be the cardinal signs and the mutable signs, but the cardinal signs, let's see, Aries, can I do this without looking? Aries and Cancer, I think. I'll get that to you in a second. I'll write that down on the bottom here. The cardinal signs are just escaping me for a second. But we're shedding the experience of being in the 3D. We're moving more toward this mutable energy that things are going to be changing and no one really knows what's under our feet. But what's happening right now between now and May 5th is Tower. This is Tower. And this is because a large hunk of our society wanted to stick their head in the sand, or wanted to not learn new things, or wanted to resist science, or wanted to resist anything that was about movement, about change. So we're moving in this new direction where we're going to value curiosity, right? Gemini. We're going to value curiosity and the questioning of dogma, the questioning of things that we have just taken for granted before. So for example, my best friend, one of my best friends, Callie, you've heard her name here. She works on the channel. Her position in her career is a teacher. She's a teacher. And she's a music teacher. So her joy is about the creative power of music and all of that. And she's dealing in a very difficult 3D world where her classes are being used as a way of kids who are not dealing well with this very old-fashioned 3D structure of school are put in their classes are 30 kids and stuff like that. And so it creates an environment that joy can't flow from her. Those kids are not, it's becoming a disciplinarian thing. Kids are resisting this 3D long before we grown-ups do, because they are the most connected to energy. So they're resisting that. So now her school system is shut down for the rest of the year, I believe. I might be still in like April or something like that, but she doesn't believe that. So what's happening is now she's teaching online. So the disruption, the resistance of the 3D experience from her side and from the kid's side is gone. She is opened up more creativity for herself. She is teaching classes, lessons that she was never had time to do because she was too busy filling out reports and dealing with disciplinary issues and active shooter drills. Okay? All of these kinds of things are gone, disappeared. And she is joyful. She is open. The kids are amazing online. She's getting, all of this kind of experience. And those kids are now at home with their parents, where the parents and the kids can interact more and embrace this move together. Some will do it, some will not do it. It's your choice. This is absolutely a personal decision as to how you choose to embrace or not embrace this energy that we're in right now. So when the South Node is in Sagittarius, it is a major place of disintegration. Okay? Disintegration means coming apart. So all of the ideas, all of the philosophies that we have had that underpin our society, that underpin how we do things, are dissipating. But as you can see, you could see what, number one, when the schools closed, everyone's like, oh my God, right? Like the kids aren't going to get their education. No one's going to graduate, or there won't be a graduation. There won't be all these traditional things that we normally do at the end of a school year, the proms, whatever. No. But there's more of a focus on the schooling. There's more of a focus on how can I teach my kid? And parents are getting more involved in this because they're home with their kids. So there's a balance shifting there. You can look at any industry that's being disrupted right now, anything that's being disrupted right now, and it's a move toward a new way of communicating, a move toward a 5D, toward embracing 5D, okay? And Jupiter is going to be residing in Capricorn for most of 2020, along with Pluto and Saturn. So for most of the rest of this year, I do feel like May 5th will be a significant thing as we move into North Node in Gemini. We're going to have a new way of communicating with each other. People are going to have to embrace new things. And then for the rest of this year, you know about Capricorn, you know about Saturn, you know about Pluto, connected to death, the death card. Capricorn connected to the devil card. This tower has created this. I've gotten the devil and death together more than I've ever seen in general readings and in personal readings. And what that is saying is all these things that we have allowed, passively or actively, that we have created, boom. Because we have attached ourselves to things that we hate, that are fearful, that are debilitating, that keep people in a state of fear, that push them into places of being trapped. Devil energy, right? Saturn. And you guys, since you have walked the spiritual path, what do we know about Saturn and Capricorn? We know that when you're pushed, which you have been because of your choice, you have rallied, you have chosen the spiritual path, you have embraced this idea of moving into consciousness. So even though the 3D life, you're seeing it now, that is like crumbling, and every single facet of our society is being challenged by this. Every single facet. So as we move toward the 5D, you guys are eminently qualified to be the leaders now. Because for the rest of this year, we will be people who are resistant, people who have not embraced, who are still fearful. There's a lot of them. And I got to tell you, it's very easy as empaths to dip into that fear. Super easy. So that's why I gave you in that live piece, I gave you the meditation of raising the vibration. I also gave you the meditation about putting this bubble of light around you. That's how people are going to find you. It's not just about a protective bubble that keeps negative energy out, fear out, only allows love to flow in, but that's how people are going to see you. That's how you're shining your light. Because you're doing this. You're in the 5D. You're doing the communication. You're doing the online work. You're doing whatever it is. Somehow you're using, and I believe the internet is an important part of us moving to 5D because it's showing us how much we're all connected in real time. In real time. So we need to listen and integrate new perspectives. So people who have not been listened to will finally be listened to. And that's going to be happening the rest of this year. So let's see, we're going to need to regenerate our vision of life by digging beneath the surface of issues and dealing with any difficulties we discover there. Every single facet of life is going to undergo this scrutiny. Because as we move toward the 5D, it's going to be about releasing. Whatever your relationship is to a partner, a family member, a partner, narcissistic energy of, attracting unavailable partners, whatever it is, whatever issues you've been facing, my request to you is to write them all down in a journal, get a clean journal, just get a brand new journal and write down all the things. My friend did this earlier this year. She took an inventory, a personal inventory of all of the things going on in her life and what was being most upset, what was upsetting to her, what was negative to her, what was angering, what was making her angry, what was frustrating to her. And then she did see the silver lining, meaning the lesson in a lot of those things. And back earlier in this is not really reading, this is just I'm telling you what I'm getting in my my own reading. But way back in this communication, what I'm saying to you is, how do you embrace the 5D? How do you see this as not a pulling away, not a crushing of old, but an embracing of new, a blossoming of new? Look at all of those things. And when you say to yourself, like when I said, why is this triggering me? It makes me feel frustrated. It makes me feel not heard. It makes me feel put down. It makes me feel belittled. Where does that come from for me? Oh yeah, that's when I was a kid. When I was a little kid, I had all these wacky ideas. I had all these crazy things that to me were important. And I was told, shush. Because as wonderful on most levels as my mom was and my family and all of that kind of stuff, they were still 3D beings. And that's their natural allegiance, because when you're told shush, when you're told to be quiet, all of those things, it's because you're triggering fear in them, okay, in the other people. So when you look at those things and you say, oh, that's what's triggering me when I'm so frustrated and angry, it's because that's my little girl, my little boy inside going, yeah, that's how I felt when I was 6 and they told me to shut up. Or they told me that was a dumb idea. Or what do you know? You're just a little kid, right? That's all happened to me. That all happened to me. And when you do that, when you embrace that, what's going to happen is you're going to feel a lightness. Embrace it and bless it and have compassion for it and release it. All you energy workers know exactly what I'm talking about, Reiki. All of you guys, this is why you're here, is to help people move through this. Move through. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Let me see if I've missed any notes here that I wanted to tell you. The eclipse season is happening. The one that was very interesting to me, there was eclipse on January 10th, which is really when the virus showed up in the United States. This is a tower moment for us, an opportunity. What we're moving toward is the balancing of the feminine energy. And what we're seeing being upended is really the shadow of all of these institutions coming to light. So school doesn't need to be done away with, but it needs to be done in a 5D fashion. How can your talents, skills be done in a 5D fashion? Can there be, for now, can there be this online experience of it? Okay, we're talking about that in the spiritual business class a lot. How can the online experience of it happen? How can you move away from 3D thinking about things? How can you move away from that and move into something that's a more spiritual way of looking at things, a more 5D, we're all connected kind of thing? How can you do that? That's the meditation that needs to happen over the next 6 weeks between now and May 5th. Because after May 5th, I believe you're going to be called upon to communicate these ideas. Because there will be, between now and then, I do think there will be massive amounts of destruction. I am not alone in this thinking. This is not a unique thought. Economic, all the pentacly kind of stuff, right? The physical body, I don't know why I'm doing this, the pentacles, it's all like coming under, right? I feel like there's like been this shade or this curtain between us and what is true, what is real, what is the 5D consciousness. I feel like there's been this shade or some kind of we're blocking ourselves from really seeing it. And so things are coming under that shade and showing themselves now. Hi. How can my life shift in this direction? I do feel like we're going to be becoming more communal. I think when the physical bodies, okay, after we move through this in a more connected way, is there a 3D energy of this? What happens to the physical bodies? What happens to our physical experience of life? What happens there? Okay. And okay, I didn't have my Sacred Traveler deck with me, but I want to do just this for those of you watching. Empress Club members, on the spiritual path, those of you on the spiritual path, I just want to pull a couple cards for you as we're closing this out. How can we navigate this most effectively? You have your own personal answer about that, which I recommend meditating. I recommend doing tarot. I recommend some kind of modality that will help you navigate that. Oh my God, reaching your destination. Remember, okay, this card, you see the bubble, right? And you see the yellow brick road there. This card has come up half a dozen times recently. And the bubble that I was just talking about is about a protective bubble, but it's also about this movement into 5D, this elevation above the 3D, this shifting of consciousness, reaching your destination. I'm going to read that to you. Your light is shining brightly because now in this bubble, that's how people see you. That's how people will find you. Okay? Being in your bubble with your light around you shining brightly. So every night, please do a little meditation that talks about putting yourself in this bubble, reaching your destination. All your hard work and effort is paying off. Glory, triumph, and success are yours. If you've given your power away, now is the time to reclaim it. It is time to stand in your own light. A destination is less of a place, right? 5D, but more of a new way of seeing the world. Your dreams are moving to fruition. If you have any incomplete projects or unresolved relationships, this is the time to complete them. This is an important part of reaching your destination. Take time to celebrate and acknowledge your successes in life. I'm going to read the rest of this thing. The Sacred Traveler wants you to know the voyage was long and there were many adventures along the way, but as your trek reaches the destination, there's a feeling of joy and celebration. It's important to stop and rest and congratulate yourself for you who are, for who you are and for what you have done. The traveler forgives those who, on the voyage, were less than honorable. Schadenfreude. Did I finish that thought? I'm sorry if I didn't finish that thought before. That the Germans have a term for Schadenfreude, which is ha 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 on you. okay? The 3D people who are not embracing the 5D. That's not going to be helpful, okay? That's not going to be helpful. Release any feelings of resentment, fear, and sadness you may have gathered along the road. You've reached your goal. Let everything else go. You're a majestic being who can bring light into the hearts of others. Celebrate and honor yourself. You are so worth it. Okay, guys, so your light is shining brightly. This is the call to action that we have right now as we move through the end of Cancer North Node in the 4th house and into the 3rd house, right? It's always in retrograde. So it's going back into Gemini 3rd house. Communication in your community, being a leader in your community. Ten of Swords, Hermit, Temperance. 3 of Pentacles underneath, working together. The world. The universe is offering, this is also the bubble. Okay, this is also the bubble. This is your light is shining brightly. Ace of Pentacles, 5 of Cups. There will be loss. Star, healing. This is what's coming. You guys are the healers. You guys are the healers. Page of Wands in the recent past. That says to me that we have been very naive about this. The universe is, what's happening on Earth. You're being protected here, guys. By your spiritual advancement, you're being protected. Okay? Being protected. Don't forget that. This is another bubble, right? The world. This is another bubble. Being in that bubble. And I don't mean like, oh, you're cutting yourself off from people. You're in this like fantasy bubble. No, it's not that. It's a bubble of protection. This is like the Passover story. Okay, when King Herod wanted to kill the 2-year-old boys because he heard of Jesus, all the two-year-old boys were being murdered in the kingdom or in the community, however you want to look at it. And so the angel came to the leader. I forget who he came to, the leader in the Jewish community or in that group of people, and said, "Put a red X on your door, on the front of your door, and I will pass over. I will pass over so that your children may be spared." Okay? Page of Pentacles, a new way of looking, a new way of thinking. I've been annoyed at a lot of the pages in the readings lately. So 2 of Cups, love, 6 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, holding on, embracing, and resisting the idea, resisting having love, showing joy, resisting the idea of manipulation or of Schadenfreude or of, Schadenfreude really is the experience of taking pleasure in another person's pain. And there's going to be a lot of people in pain here. And especially if they are people who have been very high and mighty and they are felled by this experience, the desire to feel Schadenfreude for these people, or ha ha ha, look at what's happening to you. That is not going to be productive. Okay? Not going to be productive. And I can think of some people that I would feel that way, and I would have to move beyond that into a more compassionate place. I think we're going to see that. Okay? But we are moving into healing. And you guys, we are the hermit. We are all the hermit. Okay? That's what's important to know right now. So I wanted to do this for you. Is there anything, other messages that we need to hear right now? 2 of Cups. I feel like the 2 of Cups here, the twins are being, they're always been directed by the angels, Archangel Michael here, of trying to get them together into union, that energy is so strong that I do feel like there'll be a lot of unions, or there'll at least trying to be. They could be 5D unions though, not physical. Some of them could be physical, but some of them could be not. Eternal love, energy healing work, admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly, write about your thoughts and feelings, communication. Your thoughts and feelings are going to be validated and going to be more important as we move forward. Part of the healing process as we move more into 5D. You're witnessing this right now. Okay? And the twin energy is coming together and healing. So I want you to hear this. You are always in connection, in union with your twin. It is only your 3D experience that they're separate from you that is driving this feeling of where's my union? Where's my union? What's going to be happening is you're going to leave that idea behind. It's not going to be about, you're realizing that the 3D nature of that is not the most important thing. Okay? And you're moving towards something that is important in terms of healing others. This is the bigger picture here. This is the new philosophy, right? Moving away from old philosophies into new philosophies. Clarify the Four of Pentacles for me. Two of Wands, Judgment card, Wheel, Two of Pentacles. This is the last message I want to share with you. So this has been a decision on your part to follow and heed the guidance, right? Wheel, this is divine timing. Now, for the next, I'm going to say 2 years, this energy of the divine feminine will be what's needed to be expressed now. It is coming under now with all the pentacle stuff happening, right? Coming under the transom, the energy of the Empress, the healing energy of the star. These are the things that are going to be needed. So no Schadenfreude, nothing like that. But this makes me feel like, and I woke up singing this song this morning, which is so bizarre. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Have you listened to those lyrics? Row, row, row your boat gently, gently down the stream. Feelings. Merrily, 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 merrily. Happiness, joy. Life is but a dream. So all of the 3D experiences that we've been resisting, leaving, resisting, no, don't take my job, no, don't take this. That's why the Tower moment is happening here. But the new consciousness, the 5D consciousness that you're going to be moving into is, oh, all an illusion. That was all an illusion. There was no reason for any of that. These were structures that were created to keep people in their place. And now, all gone. That's what we're going to be living through over the next 8 months into the end of this year. That all these institutions are going to be going. And nature abhors a vacuum, right? So your job, part of your mission here is to lead people in the direction of 5D consciousness. We are all together. We are all connected. We are in this together. The rising of the divine feminine. That's what we're seeing. Energy healing work, eternal love. This is the love, the twin energy is the love of mankind. This is the love of us for each other as radiant beings, as spiritual beings, not necessarily as physical beings. People are going to want to hold on. Okay? People are going to want to hold on to this old way. And it's terrible. It's awful. But that's what they know. Okay? So your job here as teacher, as guide, is to make the decision to share with the world. You see how he's looking at the world? This guidance. Being in this bubble. Where's my bubble card? Being in this, reaching your destination. You are the one shining the light. All of us. We are brighter together. We are brighter together. So this is another bubble. The universe is offering us, this is a opportunity for new kinds of stability, for new kinds of things. We haven't even gone through this gate yet. This is a gate card. And so is Two of Pentacles. All right. There's a moment in time, a decision in time that's happening with these two cards. About Pentacles, about 3D, about how life is or is not. Life is but a dream. Life is but a dream. So moving into that, the divine consciousness, the divine feminine. I love that we get the King of Cups here because this is masculine energy, right? Masculine energy in a feminine element, okay? Shining the light. Union. Shining the light of union. That's the job. Woo! So I wanted to share that with you. I hope that was helpful for you today. Please write your experiences. Please send me notes. And if you want to join the Empress Club, we're going to talk a lot more about this. Those of you who are watching this in the Empress Club, you've known about this for a long time. We're here. We're here.